All right, welcome back to the Blue Review. I'm back and healthy again. Greg Bergman and Clinton Yates with me as always.
Off the IL. All right.
Off the IL. It feels good to be off of that IL and ready to go. But I want to talk about what we saw over the weekend a little bit with this Dodger team.
Yeah.
So I think there's just good and bad things. They went 2-2. But for the most part, I saw some really good pitching from the starting pitching staff. I thought that was very, very good to see because you got guys like Julio Urias that had a little bit of trouble in the first 2 innings and then calmed down, never gave up anything after that, gave up 2 runs. Clayton Kershaw looked like Clayton Kershaw. Dustin May was fantastic. 7 innings, no runs, really, really good. It was nice to see Noah Syndergaard look good yesterday as well, too.
Surprise, too. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, which we needed that. So that was something that was very, very impressive to me. I also thought that on the bad end of things, there was a little bit of Brusdar Gratterall problems in the bullpen yesterday that they kind of need to start shoring up because he is a guy that likes to allow contact, and that's eventually going to come back and bite you. So those were the kind of the big and small things that I saw. And also Chris Taylor, who we talked about before, went yesterday 0 for 4, 3 strikeouts, not getting hits.
Well, that leads to my point, which is that the offense is going to be this inconsistent. Don't look for this team to be winning 100 games. I mean, that's kind of the thing. We talked about this earlier before the season, which I said was the margin of error for this team is different this year than it was in previous years because of the competition, because of who they are as a makeup has changed. You can't afford to be out here splitting games, splitting series with the Snakes and expect to be a dominant team down the line. I know people say, oh, it's just April. Reminder, all of the games count the same in the actual numbers list. And so, this is where this team has to actually play the baseball. So I think they learned something about themselves, which is, you can blow leads late. And your bats can go cold. That's something that you can obviously work on throughout the season. But I thought it was a decent harbinger for what the task at hand is going to be this season. Not necessarily whether or not they're going to be able to achieve it, but you saw sort of every part of what the question marks were we had, either get answered or not. And, that's a good thing. You're always reevaluating, especially at this point of the season, in terms of what you have. The split is better than the alternative, but I was not looking at this team thinking instant World Series right now. They've got some stuff to work on.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, because this is a team that in April have a really, really easy schedule where it's going to be, you get a lot of the Diamondbacks, you get a lot of the Rockies, you get some Giants in there who are not looking all that great either. You need to win these games early because once you get to May, everything starts getting a little bit crazier where you're starting to see the Yankees and the Padres and the Cardinals and the Mets, and you're starting to see real contending type teams. So winning games right now in this first month where normally, like you said, it's April. You can slow down. You don't need to actually get these wins. These are important wins now. They're going to matter at the end of the year. And if you want to get to that 90 to 100 wins that we were talking about.
For sure. I also agree with you very much so on the pitching. Dustin May, breath of fresh air. Thank God. Thank God. Not only does he look good, he feels good. He was talking about feeling good. And Syndergaard was obviously, an excellent situation there as well. But Dustin May, again, I told you that guy's the linchpin of the team. Not that he's the most important player, not that he's the best player, but if that guy's not doing well, this team expectations have to go down. It was great to see him out there on the mound.
Really nice to see that. And one other thing that I saw this weekend, which is pretty funny, is if you remember Miguel Vargas in spring training, he wasn't allowed to swing the bat for about 12 pitchers or something, like 12 at bats, something like that. And he walked a bunch of times.
Yeah.
Well, now because of that, because they wanted him to actually see the strike zone while he was there, now he leads the majors in walks with 8. So I think, it worked.
Development. That's called using your tools correctly. No, I love that. That.
So I love seeing that. And then the one last thing I see, it's not Dodger related, but today was opening day for the Milwaukee Brewers. And so it said that the Milwaukee Brewers had a flyover, totally normal on an opening day. However, Clinton, the roof was closed. The roof was closed for a flyover.
Do we think that was like an error, or do we think that, what do we think happened there?
I don't know, man, but don't schedule a flyover.
I know. I got to ask my man Devin and see what's going on. But you're skipping the most important news of the weekend.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
The drone show at Dodger Stadium was incredible. I was like, if you go to no 5 other games this year, make it those 5 games. I was thoroughly impressed with that. Drone shows in general are the kind of thing that, like, as a 42-year-old man, I'm kind of like, wow, these kids really got some cool stuff now that I could have never imagined before. You know what I'm saying? Drone shows are really cool, and it was great. It had, tributes to all the old Dodgers and stuff. I thought that was a really fun thing, and kind of thing you stay at the ballpark for afterwards for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I looked like it was really cool. It looked like it was really fun. I definitely want to go see one at some point because
have you
it's
ever
just
seen one in
different
real life?
I think I saw one like at a park or something where they can put everything. You can have words, you can write, you can do whatever you want.
The technology blows me away. Like,
it's crazy.
It feels like sorcery on some level, but good job out of Dodger Stadium for that. That was easily the coolest thing of the weekend, in my opinion. So
yeah, you're right. Well, that was a great one, and I appreciate it. That's going to do it for the Blue Review today. I will talk to you mañana.